Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Know Your English Grammar. In today's lesson, we will learn about another set of verbs that may confuse us sometimes. They are rise and raise. Just like lie and lay, and sit and set that I covered in my previous lessons, these two verbs are frequently confused in English language. I will explain the difference between them. Rise means to get up. It is an intransitive verb, which means it does not need an object to complete its meaning. It may, however, have an adverbial phrase or a prepositional phrase. An object usually asks the question whom or what. For example, I rise. If we ask the question, rise what or rise whom, we do not have an answer. I rise refers to my own upward movement. It's not transferred to an object. I rise early every morning. Early every morning is an adverbial phrase which just gives more information about the action. Now, let's look at raise. Raise means to lift. Raise is a transitive verb. That means it needs an object to complete its meaning. For example, Steve raises the barbell above his head. If we ask the question, Steve raises what or whom, our answer would be the barbell. The barbell is the object of the verb. Steve raises could not stand on its own. That could not be a complete sentence. So, to determine whether you should use rise or raise, if the sentence does not have a direct object, you should use rise, which is an intransitive verb. And if the sentence has an object, raise should be used as it is a transitive verb. Let's look at the verb forms of rise and raise. Rise is an irregular verb. Its verb forms are rise or rises in its present tense. The past tense is rose, the past participle is risen, and the present participle, which is what we call the ing form, is rising. Raise is a regular verb. Its verb forms are raise or raises in the present tense. The past tense is raised. The past participle is also raised, and the present participle is raising. Here are some examples in sentences using the verb forms of rise. Remember, rise means to get up. It is an intransitive verb, which means it does not need an object to complete its meaning. Using the present tense form of the verb, I rise early this morning. Using the past tense, rose, I rose early yesterday. For the past participle, risen, I have risen early every morning this week. Using the present participle, rising, I will be rising early every morning this week. All of these sentences do not require an object to make sense. If we ask the question, whom or what, after each form of the verb, for example, Tom rose what, we would not have an answer. In each sentence, the verb is followed by an adverbial phrase, not an object. Now, here are some examples in sentences using the verb forms of raise. Remember, raise means to lift. It is a transitive verb. Using the present tense, Tom raises the flag each morning. Using the past tense, Tom raised the flag this morning at 6 a.m. For the past participle, Tom has raised the flag each morning at 6 a.m. And for the present participle, Tom will be raising the flag every day this week. Here is a test to ensure that you fully understand the difference between rise and raise. Remember, rise means to get up. It is an intransitive verb, which means it does not need an object to complete its meaning, and the verb forms are rise, rose, risen, and rising. Raise means to lift. It is a transitive verb, which means it needs an object to complete its meaning, and the verb forms are raise, raised, raised, and raising. Question number 1. She blank her voice during the argument yesterday. We may ask several questions to get our answer. 1. Is there an object in this sentence? Our answer is yes. This sentence has an object. The object is her voice. So we know this requires a transitive verb, which is raise. We may also ask, do you get up your voice or do you lift your voice? You lift your voice. So our answer points again to raise as the required verb. So now that we are assured that our verb is raise, we may now ask what form of the verb raise is required. During the argument yesterday tells us that this happened in the past. So our required form of the verb raise would be raised. She raised her voice during the argument yesterday. Our second sentence is, watching the birds blank in the sky is a beautiful sight. We may ask the same questions. Does this sentence have an object? No, it does not. In the sky is a beautiful sight is a prepositional phrase. So we know our required verb is an intransitive verb. The verb is rise. And what form of the verb rise is required? Watching tells us this is the present participle. So our required verb form would be rising. Watching the birds rising in the sky is a beautiful sight. Our third question is, prices have blank faster than expected. Again, there's no object in this sentence. Faster than expected is an adverbial phrase. So our sentence will require an intransitive verb. The intransitive verb is rise. And what form of the verb rise is required? Prices have tells us the required verb form is the past participle, which is risen. Prices have risen faster than expected. That's it for this lesson. It was my pleasure bringing it to you. I hope you now understand the difference between rise and raise. For more English grammar lessons, please subscribe to this channel and let me hear from you in the comments section. See you next time. Bye.